So I have a tip for you as far as whenever you're gluing up an end grain board. One of the things I found early on is that whenever you were gluing them up, the pieces here, the joints, they weren't exactly perfect. Like basically you'd glue it up and it'd be pretty good, and I'd find I was filling stuff with sawdust and glue or a little bit of CA glue or whatever, just to really kind of close that gap. And the reason being, or the reason that I think that this is the case, is that whenever I'm cutting these pieces on the crosscut sled, as much as I'm hoping that things are flat, it's not exactly flat. So what I have found that works is to do a little quick sanding. Now you can use just a flat surface and then sandpaper and then rub the piece on it. Or for those of you that have a drum sander, run it through the drum sander a few times and you'll see that it'll be a much better and a much cleaner joint for all of them and make for a much nicer board. So you can see this is before the sanding. I haven't done anything as far as cleaning up the edges here, but you can see here it's not bad. And if you were to glue it, yeah, it'll tighten it, it'll bring it together nicely, but at the same time I want it to be very, very clean and crisp. And so what I'm doing here, really simple. It is just, it's your old sanders trick. I'm just marking each piece with a line, just to make sure I'm not taking too much off one side or another, and to help to make sure that each piece is nice and fully flat when I run it through the drum sander. All right, so what I'm doing here is running pieces through the drum sander. I think I'm going 2 or 3 at a time, and being sure to take very, very light passes. I'll do this on both sides, and then once I'm done, you'll see the finished product. So you can see here that it is a lot better. There aren't the little gaps, and the gaps can be caused by a bunch of different reasons, one of which the board itself being not fully flat before the final cut up. But at the same time, also, you can have a little bit of warpage. I left this board just to dry not even to dry, just to sit for a day or two. And there may have been a bit of moisture in the wood and it bent a bit, basically. But all in all, you can see that this is a much tighter product, or it'll make for a much better product at the end of the day. So there you go. As I said at the beginning, you can run it through the drum sander. The other option is, as I said, you can just take it and sand it on a piece of paper. It'll work well that way. I do find the drum sanders a little nice, but I know not everybody has that option available. It just goes to show that, I see this many, many times where there's people that are kind of baffled as far as once a board is glued up and they're looking and the joint doesn't look very nice. It's opening up a little bit, and you see it time and time again. And people will say, well, you got to cut and re-glue. Well, when you're doing things like this, like a pattern here that I'm doing, I can't cut and re-glue. So I have to make sure that everything is really nice and ready to go for that final glue up. So if you like what you saw, feel free to like and subscribe to the channel here, and be sure to follow Shamrock Designs on Instagram as well. Thank you very much. Bye.